smashing each other. But they're smashing each other's skulls. There's another of those. There he is. One less monster around.
Wait a minute.
Soon we shall command them all. You and your pathetic magic skills are no danger to us.
Wait a minute. You're not yourself.
My head. I can't stand it anymore.
You should go to the monastery. Pyrokar, the highest fire magician, might be able to help you.
Do you think? Well, okay, I'll give it a try.
Hey, you! Vino isn't going to come back. They drove him insane.
Bye, Innes. Hopefully this nightmare will be over soon.
Watch out for your farm.
I'll try.
Aren't you feeling well?
No, not at all. I've got this awful fever again. I should really go and see the town healer, but I'm too weak for that.
Can I help?
It would be wonderful if you could go to Vatras and get me my medicine. He'll know what is to be done. I can't do it anymore.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
What's up?
All is quiet. We shall keep our eyes peeled. Listen, you now have access to the city, but that doesn't mean you can do whatever you want around here. If you don't stick to the rules, you'll lose all your rights here.
What's up?
All is quiet. We shall keep... Move on.
Good thing you're here. You need to help me.
What kind of clothes are these?
I bought them from a trader outside of town. The guards wouldn't let me in at first. Also, there's no need to let the whole world know where I come from.
You've got a point there.
That's the way I see it. But even though I've dumped my shadow garb, I'm still who I always was. And I have big plans for this city.
What are you doing here?
I've been observing the guards. They're constantly on their toes. I don't think it will be easy for me to get through there.
What is this about?
A lot of things have changed since I left here. I have to get back on my feet somehow.
What's the problem?
I have to get into the upper quarter. But I'm not a citizen of the town, and I don't have enough money to bribe the guards. That's where you come in.
So you want me to lend you some gold?
Nonsense. I've got some gold. A whole lot of gold, even. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me. You need to go fetch my gold for me.
Okay, I'll help you.
Well, listen. Back when the barrier was still in place, I hid a small treasure. It's been quite a while. That's why I forgot to take it with me. And I can't leave here at all at the moment. To cut a long story short, you must go to the Valley of Mines for me and fetch my gold.
Where did you get all that gold?
Am I the only one, then, who put some gold aside for himself in the Valley of Mines? Filching a few nuggets was a piece of cake, just in case we ever got out of there. Everybody was so keen on that ore that no one even cared for gold at the time.
What are you planning to do with the gold?
I still have an account to settle with one of the merchants in the upper quarter. I need to take care of that. And then I'll be all set for a new career.
Where's the gold hidden?
Directly at the trading square, above the abandoned mine. It's in a leather satchel. Spare yourself that comment. I know myself that we must have walked right past it. Just bring me the bag. But don't forget to check that it's the right one, so you don't walk all that way for nothing.
How can I recognize it?
It's full of gold. A whole lot of gold.
I'll try to find your gold.
Just do it. That's enough for me.
I found your gold.
Great. Show me. Very good. Gerbrand had better watch out now. Listen, I still need to take care of the guards. I want you to take this letter to Gerbrand. He is one of the fat merchants in the upper quarter. Give him my regards. I'll meet you in front of Gerbrand's house then.
How's the situation?
I shall go mad here. I am a soldier, not a bureaucrat. With all this paperwork that I must do, I barely remember what my sword feels like in my hand.
I bring you news from Garand. Here, he gave me this message for you.
Our situation is worse than I had feared, but report to me on the situation in the Valley of Mines.
The Paladins are holed up in the castle in the Valley of Mines, surrounded by orcs. There were many casualties in the prospecting operations, and there's barely any ore left. Well, I should say that without any help, the lads are lost. That's how it looks.
I shall find a way to rescue this expedition. You have done much for us. Inos will thank you.
I'm not all that interested in his gratitude. I want his eye.
Yes, of course, I stand by my word. Take this letter. It will open the monastery gates to you. Speak with Pyrokar, the highest fire magician, and show him this authorization. He will grant you access to the Eye of Inos. One more thing before you go. Take this rune as a token of my gratitude. It will take you safely back to the city whenever you want.
How's the situation?
I must find a way to rescue this expedition. We must do something against the dragons. Perhaps the Eye of Inos can save us all now.
Hey, you! How's duty?
My task fulfills me, Chosen One.
Hey, what have you been up to? I expect more of my apprentice than just dropping in at my place once in a blue moon. Did you at least bring me some mushrooms?
Show me your wares. What recipes can you teach me?
I know a few. Make your own choice.
Will you stay?
One of us has...
Hey! Lobart's wife Hilda is sick.
What? Again? The good woman should take better care of herself. One hard winter and she won't be with us anymore. All right. I will give her a medicine to reduce the fever. Oh, and while you're at it, You might as well drop it off with her.
Can you heal me?
Gadanos.
Hey! I've got your medicine.
Really, our society needs more people like you. Thank you so much. I hope that these few coins are enough.
What's your business here? Smart kid.
Show me your wares. Instruct me in the art of alchemy.
What do you want to know? Crappy weather.
And the sea released the land, and there arose all creatures, trees as well as animals.
I've heard you were with the Paladins in the Valley of Mines. I'm impressed. You should take your time and browse my goods. Right now, I have a very special potion to offer.
Show me your wares.
It's my pleasure, Reverend Brother.
What are you doing here?
What do you think, huh? I'm a gardener. I take care of the garden.
You're pretty much by yourself here, aren't you?
Yes, and it should stay that way. I'm glad that I have some peace here. Once, they wanted to send me to the penal colony because I did some guy in, but Larius, the governor, needed another gardener, and so I could stay here. Over time, this garden has become my home, and I'm content with that.
Are you growing herbs as well?
A few. I'm growing fireweed and fire nettles. I also tried swamp weed, but that doesn't really thrive here. Well, I just harvested. So if you want to buy something.
Show me your wares. I've got some weed tobacco here. Want to smoke?
I don't know it, but sure, give it here. I'll roll myself a smoke. Harsh stuff. I think I'd better not smoke any more of it.
See? That wasn't so hard.
I'm not telling you anything new.
It was just like you said.
And Beliar spoke to another creature, But Adonos brought forth the tide.
I was at
and
your
the
hut
creature
in the
was
Valley
washed
of
from the
Mines.
face of the earth.
So it's still standing. Did you find it?
If you mean your pouch with the lumps of ore, yes,
But
I
with
have
it,
it.
the
You're a
trees
fox.
and animals
You know that.
were also washed
Do you have
away.
it with you?
And
I'll give
a
you 100
deep
gold coins for
sadness
it.
overcame Adonos.
Sure.
Terrific.
And thus spake Adonos
Why did
to
you
his
leave it
brothers,
there in the first place?
Never
I
again
had no idea
shall
that
you
ore was
walk
so
upon
valuable
my
here in
land,
Corinus.
it
For
is
one
sacred.
measly piece of ore,
So
you couldn't get so
shall
much
it
as a place
be.
to sleep back in the penal colony.
But
in the harbor
human
city,
and the
they'll
beast
practically
waged
bash your
war
skull in
upon the
if they
land
find
of
out you have
Adonis,
ore on you.
and the wrath of the gods was with them.
I hope that I'll get it back soon.
Give me
And the
100 gold
human
coins,
slew
and I'll
the
give
beast,
you your ore
and
back.
it entered
Deal.
into
Here you go.
Beliar's realm.
You're a real friend. Thanks a lot.
Adonos saw that order and chaos were now unequal, and he bade Enos to take his divine power from the human.
Hey, you! I've got some honey tobacco for you.
It is a great pleasure doing business with you.
Can you make me a prophecy?
Yes, time has progressed.
How much?
For a paltry 250 coins, I shall risk a glance through time for you.
Tell me about the future.
All right, son of knowledge. I shall now enter a state of trance. Are you ready? You shall force what is nobody's destiny but yours. Through fire and snow, through ice and flames, men in foreign armor, a swamp, lizards, they await you. That's all. There's nothing more I can see.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus, by the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following
It's gonna get even worse.
enacted. The mercenary Smith Bennett, who treacherously murdered the paladin Lothar, has been condemned in the name of Enos. The sentence is death by hanging.
Who says things like that? If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. Who says things like that?
You're a convict from the mining colony. Scram.
And he works all
Wait a minute.
Oh, here you are again.
And it's gonna get even
Why aren't you in jail?
I have been released. As I already told you, I am an influential man in the city. Now word is out among the merchants that you are a convict. A regrettable affair. Now you won't be able to get even a piece of bread here in the marketplace. I could, of course, sort things out for you. Shall we say 500 gold pieces?
Wait a minute.
Have you come to pay?
That's not what I heard.
All right, I'll pay up. You leave me no choice.
Good. Then I shall see to it that your reputation with the merchants rises once again.
To get even worse.
Show me your wares.
Get even
Take your
worse.
pick.
Don't tell this to anyone. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. That's what
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
he had better shut up.
Show me your wares.
They never should have let it get so far. Now one of the mercenaries has actually murdered a paladin. Something had to happen one of these days.
That's not what my husband thinks. These are bad times.
Someone's got to do the work.
Hey, you! Show me your wares.
Someone's got to do the work.
That's an open secret.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
Now that's typical, isn't it?
Someone's got to do the work.
That's That's not what I heard.
He'd better shut up.
Really? How interesting.
And he works all day, too.
And it's gonna get even worse.
That's an open secret.
Don't tell this to anyone.
These are bad times.
Don't tell this to anyone.
He simply talks too much.
And it's gonna get even worse.
That's an open secret.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
He can't keep anything to himself.
Really? How interesting.
And it's going to get even worse.
That's typical, isn't it?
That's terrible.
That's not what my husband did.
And he works all day, too.
He simply talks to himself.
How interesting.
You don't say.
He simply talks too much.
I've been able to rescue some of the missing people.
How many people did you find?
All those who were still alive.
All? That was a grand deed.
How's the situation in town?
Everything is under control.
How's the situation?
Everything.
Hey, you're the guy who filed a complaint against Canthar, the merchant. Lots of people came here to vouch for him. Well-respected people. The matter must have been a misunderstanding. Yeah, these things happen. In future, you should be more careful about who you send to jail.
Are you with the farmers or the mercenaries?
You're pulling my leg, aren't you?
I was just curious.
Have you ever seen a farmer who also forges weapons?
No.
Then why do you ask such stupid questions?
How come you're in the slammer?
Those swine have thrown me in the hole. I'm supposed to have murdered a paladin. But I didn't do it. They're only trying to frame me.
Why would they do that?
How would I know? You've got to get me out of here. Talk to Lord Hagen. Tear down the wall. Who cares? Just do something.
Do they have any evidence against you?
They say they have a witness who recognized me.
Well, do you know who the witness is?
No, all I know is that he's lying.
Who's leading the investigation?
Lord Hagen himself. Since the victim was one of the paladins, this falls under martial law.
What does that mean?
That's easy to guess. If I don't get out of here, they're going to let me swing without further ado. You've got to help me or there'll be a war. Lee's not going to take this lying down. You can figure out for yourself what that means.
What happened?
I went downtown with Hodges to buy some supplies for our boys. Suddenly we heard a loud scream and the sound of running feet.
Get to the point.
We knew at once that something had happened and that they would grab us at once if they saw us there. We ran like hell, then just before we got to the city gate, I tripped and sprained my ankle. The rest is soon told. The militia was on me at once and they threw me straight into this hole.
Who was murdered?
I have no idea. One of the paladins. I don't know them.
Have you got a name?
Some Lothar, I think. Well, I don't know. I'm not really sure. You had better ask Lord Hagen. He knows all the details.
Hear ye, inhabitants explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hayden. The sentence is death by hanging. The execution will take place in a few days.
These are bad times. Who says things like that? He simply talks too much, and it's going to get worse.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
And so he set himself between his brothers in order to reconcile their dispute. And he
Listen to me.
That doesn't surprise me.
So why won't they listen to me?
There's nothing you can do about it.
Hey! Diego says hello.
What? Who? What Diego?
And he wants me to give you this letter.
That can't be. No. I'm a goner. Is he in town then?
Who?
Diego, of course.
Yes, I'm gonna meet him here shortly.
Oh, this is the end then. All is lost. I've got no time. I need to get out of here. Quick! If he finds me here, I'm done for.
Wait a minute. I delivered the letter.
Very good. How did Gerbrand take it?
He was rather shocked and made himself scarce right away.
I should think so. I'm afraid that, first of all, I need to attend to furnishing my new house. If I remember correctly, Gerbrand's taste is horrible.
I'm not telling you anything new.
So how did you pull this off?
Did you think that Gerbrand came by his fortune through honest business? Of course, he never got his fingers dirty when it came to really shady deals. He had a helper for that. Of course, I caught on to a lot back then. Gerbrand finally got rid of me. He was probably afraid that I knew too much.
You never told me about that.
You never asked me.
It can't go on like this forever. What about my share?
Looks like you haven't forgotten everything I've taught you after all. But you're right. I couldn't have done it without you. Here's your share.
Doesn't surprise me.
Where did you pick that up then?
There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Someone's gonna do the work.
I don't believe that.
Go away. Don't tell me that.
He'd better shut up.
He works all day, too. If I hadn't seen it with my
These are bad times. He simply talks too
That
much.
was obvious all along.
Why haven't I heard about this before? The bandits that were occupying your lighthouse are gone.
Is that really true? Finally, I can get back to my work. Come with me to the lighthouse. You get an incredible view of the sea up there.
As if I didn't have enough problems.
Who says things like that?
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
If I hadn't seen it with my
Don't
own
tell
eyes,
this to anyone. If I hadn't seen
he simply talks too much.
it, you don't say.
These are bad times. That's what I've always said.
Look, I've got a statue of Innos for you.
Oh, thank you. Very, very much. May Innos let his light shine on you.
Yeah, never mind. Could you cook me some soup?
Nothing.
That's not what my husband thinks.
Don't tell this to anyone.
gone about it differently. Obvious all along.
I can't believe that.
I never knew that.
You should really have known better. Don't tell me you didn't know that.
Same old thing always.
I need to talk to you about Bennett.
But that's the mercenary who murdered one of my men.
I believe that Bennett is innocent.
The evidence is clear. He is guilty.
So what if the proof is wrong?
Be careful what you say. You raise some serious accusations. If you cannot present me with evidence that the witness lied, then you had best hold your tongue.
How come you're so sure that Bennett is the killer?
We have a witness. As you can see, there is no doubt about the mercenary's guilt.
Who is that witness?
Cornelius, the governor's secretary, saw the murder. His description fits Bennett, no doubt about that. As far as I am concerned, that settles the matter. The mercenary will hang for treason.
Hey! You saw the murder of Lothar, didn't you?
I need not answer any questions about a current investigation. Lord Hagen already has everything I know on record.
What was it you saw?
Really, I haven't got any time now. You need to go now. The office is closing.
Enough of that. What did you see?
I saw how the mercenary struck down the paladin from behind, and then he took his sword and rammed it through his chest.
Are you completely sure?
Yes, of course. I saw it with my own eyes, but I really haven't got any time now. There's a huge pile of paperwork I need to do.
I don't believe you.
So what? What are you going to do about it?
They could make you talk in the monastery.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we have ways to bring out the truth. painful ways.
No, please don't. I'll tell you everything you want.
So what really happened?
I didn't see what happened. I received some gold for blaming that mercenary. In times like these, it's everyone for himself. I needed that money.
Who paid you?
That's enough. He'll kill me if I rat him out.
Are you gonna tell that to Lord Hagen too?
I'm not a lunatic. I can't stay in town now. I'll give you my diary. That should be proof enough. Just you wait.
Hey!
Lord. What really? You?
Hey, you! And are you
Yes, but I...
Hey!
I don't...
So...
They could make...
What do you...
Well...
No.
So what...
Who? That's enough.
Are you...
Not a...
I need to talk to you about Bennett. I believe that Bennett is innocent.
The evidence is clear. He is guilty.
So what if the proof is wrong?
Be careful what you... If you can...
Cornelius lied.
How did you know that?
Here, I've got his diary. Everything's in there.
That slimy little criminal! In view of the new evidence, there is nothing else I can do. By virtue of the office granted me by king and church, I declare that the prisoner Bennett is exonerated of all charges and is thereby a free man. Cornelius is to be taken into immediate custody for perjury.
He's made himself scarce.
Sooner or later he will turn up, then we shall arrest him.
I used to say that myself. It was his decision, wasn't it?
Someone's got to pay for that.
That was no big deal.
That's the first I've heard of it. That's been known a long time.
Don't say you didn't know that.
Hey, you! Show me your wares.
May Innos watch over you always.
Hey, you. I see you belong to the Magician's Monastery.
Yes, why?
Can you use another worker there? I wouldn't know where else to turn.
Where do you come from?
I used to be captain of a big whaler, my boy. The sea is my home. My ship, the good old Magdalena, was sunk by pirates a few months ago, and now I'm stranded here. All I ever wanted was to go back to sea. But since I've come here, not one schooner is called at this accursed port. The only ship which is anchored in Corinthus is that blasted war galley of the king, and they don't take on anyone. So what else can I do? There's no work for me in town. I've tried everything.
Do you know anything about the hooded figures?
No, but I have a bad feeling about those guys. Be careful if you run into them.
Do you know where the others are?
Gorn seems to have coped with his stay in Garan's dungeon very well. In any case, he wanted to go to Lee and see what was happening on the farm. After the grub they serve in the dungeon, he's probably stuffing his face right now and putting the mercenaries' provisions to a real test. Diego mumbled something about a reckoning. No idea what he meant by that, but I suspect he's in the city. You know him, always there when there's something to be had.
How did you get to the monastery so fast?
What kind of a question is that? I crept through the pass and made my way straight to the monastery. Admittedly, it was never easy avoiding all the monsters making themselves at home on this side of the valley, but ultimately I encountered fewer problems than I expected. Can't go on like this forever.
Teach me the third circle of magic.
Yes, the time has come. Enter now the third circle of magic. New spells await you. You will need them, for evil draws nigh, and it can be thwarted only with the power of Innos. I have now taught you all of the circles that I can pass on. Karas will instruct you in the higher circles. May Innos protect you.
You already know what I think.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
That's totally obvious.
He doesn't see that.
Hey, you! Can I learn from you?
I shall instruct you in the secrets of alchemy.
possible.
I want to increase my magic powers.
There's nothing else I can teach you. You become too good.
It's really not my problem.
Your magic power has grown. If you want to learn more, ask Pyrocar. May Innos protect you.
Nobody ever asks me.
Parlan sent me. I want to increase my magic powers.
Well, you have learned a lot, and your strength has grown. From now on, you will learn from me.
I want to increase my magic powers. I've come from the old Valley of Mines.
What do you have to report?
The enemy has formed up there with an army of orcs and dragons.
We have already learned that from Milton. But what about the king's shipment of ore?
The mine they are digging for Garand in the valley cannot satisfy the demands of the king.
The days are becoming grayer, and the light of the sun is ever weaker.
I was attacked by men in black robes.
I know. Those are the Seekers, henchmen from the nether realms of Beliar. Beware of them. They will try to take possession of you. Once possessed, you will no longer be yourself. Only here in the monastery could you find help then, so be careful. I have asked Karas to look into this matter. He will certainly win some further insight soon, which can make us see clearer. Here, this rune will bring you directly back to the monastery if you need our help. Remember, we must offer resistance, or we shall all be doomed.
I've found a strange almanac.
Really? What kind of an almanac is that?
I'm not sure. I thought you would know what to do with it.
Forsooth, that is very disquieting. I am glad that you brought it to me. That was very wise. I assume that there are more of these. Go and find more of these books of damnation. I suspect that it is an instrument of the Seeker's power. They use it to control the lost souls of their victims. They obviously write down the names of those whom they are planning to possess in these books. Listen, I am giving you this magical letter. It will show you the names which are written in the books. Find those victims and bring me their books. I shall dispose of them. But first, you ought to show at least one of them to Karas. Maybe that will help him in his studies. Do not make the mistake to try and destroy them yourself. You are not ready to withstand their power. Do not get close to the Seekers, or they will take possession of you. If you still find yourself unable to resist their call, come back to me as fast as you can. Only here in the monastery can your soul be saved.
Is there no protection against their mental attacks?
That is possible. Karas could know something about that.
I have come to take the Eye of Innos.
I see that you have received an authorization from Lord Hagen himself to bear the Eye of Innos. I am afraid that I have to disappoint you. We have fallen victim to a treacherous plot of the enemy. The Eye of Innos has been violently taken from these sacred walls.
Who could be so impudent, Master?
Evil is cunning, and usually works in secret. Only rarely do you see it emerge to pursue its evil machinations in broad daylight. But these days, it's a different matter. The enemy now shows himself openly in the street, in every home and every public square. This can only mean that he no longer fears any adversary and is not going to shrink back from anything. One of our most faithful followers, a candidate for the high robe of the Magicians of Fire, has changed his allegiance unexpectedly, and in an alarmingly evil manner. Pedro. The enemy has taken possession of him, thus inflicting a terrible defeat upon us. Pedro has forced his way into our most sacred halls and stolen the eye. I fear that he simply spent too much time by himself, outside of the gates, and thus beyond the protective walls of the monastery, exposed to all lurking dangers.
Where did the thief flee to?
Pedro knocked down some of the other novices who tried to stop him and disappeared into the morning mist. Many novices have gone after him to bring the eye back to its place unharmed. If you want to catch up with him, you need to hurry before Pedro disappears out of your reach.
One more little thing. Stay away from the roadside shrines. We have heard that some of them have been desecrated. No one can say what effect they have now. It is not your task to solve this problem. The Paladins will take care of this matter.
Any news?
Not at the moment. Go and complete your tasks. You still have much to do.
Not so fast. I have another task for you.
And that is...
Now that you belong to the Brotherhood of Fire, you must also fulfill the duties that come with being one of us. The Church is not only concerned with the affairs of magic, it is also the final authority in the administration of justice, as you know. The latest case brought before us opens up a bottomless abyss and must be dealt with once and for all.
What's this about?
There is someone in the city who has sold falsified shares in the ore mines of the former penal colony. These papers are utterly worthless and of no importance, really. Still, they have the potential of stirring up trouble among the people, which we cannot afford to happen right now. The swindler is supposed to have approached all of the most reputable traders in the city and the country, and has evidently managed to sell his counterfeit mining shares to some of them. Find this evildoer and bring him before this panel. In such hard times, we must not suffer swindlers and plunderers. We must make an example of him in order to deter the rest of the mob.
I'll try to clear up the matter.
One thing more. When you visit those traders, do not let them know that you are looking for mining shares. I think they probably want to sell them on, and certainly would no longer offer them to you if they realized that you are dealing with them on behalf of the Church. Do you see?
Yes.
Then get to work. I wish you much success, brother.
Is there anything else you want to tell me?
No, not at the moment, brother.
May Innos protect you.
I'm not telling you anything new.
How are you?
Yeah, all right already. I think the boys here can help me, but I still feel really dizzy. But I have to say, their wine is the best I've ever tasted.
So it says in the scriptures.
Nobody will learn anything.
How's it going?
I loyally fulfill all of the tasks given me, Master. Every day, Innos sets new challenges before me. I'll continue to work on improving myself.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Do you really think?
Any news?
Yes, the enemy has succeeded in planting a traitor in our sacred halls. He has stolen the Eye of Innos, one of our most important artifacts, and that is only the tip of the iceberg. The enemy has apparently already entered the city.
What do you mean?
One of the paladins, Lothar, was murdered in the street. In broad daylight. It has gone too far, but I fear that is only the beginning.
As if I don't have enough problems.
Bennett is innocent. The witness lied.
How do you know that?
I have found proof.
Sometimes I think that treason and greed are our greatest enemies.
What's going to happen now?
We will pursue the thief no matter where. We will hunt him down and see to it that he receives his just punishment.
For that, we would need to know first who the thief is.
We will soon find out, and no matter how long it takes us, we shall find him. This I swear by Innos.
Where did the thief go?
I don't know that. He rushed to the gate like he was possessed, and then disappeared. No matter where he hides, under what rock he crawls, the wrath of Innos will strike him and scorch his black soul.
Nothing's ever gonna change that.
That was obvious all along. I never knew that.
I always act in the name of Innos.
I agree with you completely.
Do you really?
Hey, you!
Brother, you cannot lose any time. You must hunt down Pedro and return the Eye of Innos to the monastery. If the eye is not retrieved, we shall all be lost.
I want to learn the fourth circle of magic.
It is still not finished.
How are your studies coming along?
I've been able to find out something about the Seekers.
And what would that be?
They are, quite obviously, of demonic origin. But at least they are, or were, under the influence of demons. Be careful if you meet them.
What a novel concept.
I'm sorry, but I don't have enough material to make a more precise statement. But if you could manage to bring me something of theirs to examine.
What kind of material do you need?
What do I know? Any objects which especially belong to these beings.
Do you want me to bring you a corpse?
No. Are you crazy? The dangers posed by a demonic being within the walls of the monastery are much too great. It will be enough if you find some objects which are typical for these beings. The remains of the demonic aura which cling to them should offer enough clues for an examination.
Could the sleeper be involved in this?
I have heard the story of the sleeper, but from a distance I cannot say anything about it. There are countless demons, and any of them could be involved.
I shall see what I can do.
It would certainly be very useful. In the meantime, I will carry out my own personal research.
Is there a way to protect oneself against the mental attacks of the Seekers?
No idea. I still know too little to answer that. Ask me about it later.
Hey! Any news?
Yes. Well, you've probably noticed those black-robed figures.
I've met them.
This brings us to the core of the matter. At the moment, we're observing a very rare constellation of stars. To be more exact, the sign of the ox currently stands in direct correlation with the sign of the warrior. I suppose you know what that means.
Well, to be honest...
Yes, I see. Well, I cannot explain the entire background to you now, but it definitely signifies a great change, and I do not like change. Therefore, I want you to get me a book from town. It's called The Divine Power of the Stars. You may have to rummage around for it a bit, but I'm sure you'll find it.
I'll see whether I can find it.
That's good. It frees up my time so I can follow some other trails as well, but don't take too much time. Time, I'm afraid, is what we have the least of.
Hey, you! Found anything out yet?
No, I'm still waiting for that book.
I've got the book for you.
Very good. Give it here. You may withdraw now. I shall retire and study.
Found anything out yet?
Well, I cannot be completely sure, but the current constellation of the stars seem to indicate many dangers.
What kind of dangers?
Well, the structure between the worlds seems to be very weak. It only takes a small portion of the power that would be necessary otherwise to tear a hole in this structure. Demons could use those portals to enter our world without encountering resistance.
Found anything out yet?
Well, I cannot be completely sure, but the current...
What kind of...
Well, demons could use...
Those are all just rumors.
I need a few things.
What's going on here?
What do you mean?
You're the second fellow to rush past here like he's been stung by blood flies.
I need to get going.
Hey, no problem. Cut out.
nothing there. What with?